Welcome back to TheChowTimePod. It's your host, Red. I got a video today from P's World. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. I really appreciate that. Let's give that chow. It's chow time.
A good portion of your day is spent staring at the wall or gossiping with the other girls.
No one really realizes that that's our job, just like waiting time. It's the job.
Yeah.
We just wait forever.
You just sit there by yourself, staring into outer space, trying not to be depressed.
Like, I took off my clothes today for $4.
Money is nice, but you give so much to do it.
You are not going to make $1,000 every single day.
Struggling making money because the club is so dead. So if you didn't make $300, you made negative money. I've had to battle in every other dancer I know.
To all the girlies who want to be a dancer so bad, don't do it. This is not your sign. Any video you see, this is not your sign. You know how rare it is to get a club that's consistent like that? It's very hard. It's not very easy.
I mean, the way the economy is, a lot of men are buckling down with their money. So a lot of these establishments are going out of business, in my opinion, or lack of patrons.
I worked and I only made $4.
Jeez.
2 girls out of all the girls I worked today made over 100 today. Like, I took off my clothes today for $4. Do you really think that's worth it? No! Don't say this is my sign. It's not. I promise. Stay to your office 9-to-5 job.
What are some women worth? $4.
You guaranteed money. Me not.
$4? That must be some sort of slave labor, because that would make no sense. Wait, I genuinely thought strippers, they have a salary. Probably not that great.
No.
But then,
bro.
The tips and stuff, that's like an add-on. But you going to work and coming back with $4, that doesn't even sound like it should be legal.
I'm
But it is.
outside of my work, debating whether or not I should go up to my boss and just quit my job. Why? Because I don't feel like I'm making enough money. I feel like I'm really broke. I can barely pay my bills. My credit's horrible. And so I've been seeing a lot of TikToks where obviously the scrippers are making a lot of money. Okay? And yes, I do have some jelly rolls. And yes, I do look like a tied up ham hock. But beside the point, I can probably make a few more pennies than I make here.
You can't make this.
I know I'm ugly or not the best looking, but I know that I can still make more money doing that to desperate men than having a normal job.
Okay? Or I can just go sell drugs. I don't know. I'm debating. There needs to be a way where we can make more money. Okay? Because I would like to get my hair and my nails done.
Look, I'm going to be honest with you. As someone who doesn't partake in strip club culture, right? I think the UK isn't very big on strippers anyway. There are strip clubs, but it's not a part of the culture as much as it is American culture.
Yeah, American culture is pretty big.
When I think of strippers, I think an overweight stripper. That's a bit crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? You should be...
That's probably a lot of them here in the United States. I don't know, but just how DEI kind of works here, I would assume it infiltrated the strip club scene also.
You should make the most of your appearance because that's what's going to make you the money. You know what I'm saying? And then number 2, doing S work and not getting paid, that's doing S work and you're not one of those women on social media who are flossing the money. Even if you're making average money doing S work, that's crazy. It's
right? If you were making 45, 50K doing it, could have just kept your normal jobs.
It's like the drug dealers who are just making regular money. You're making 30K a year selling, what are you doing? Just get a normal job. But you know what's funny? She's in her car and she went from scripting to selling drugs as if she doesn't have any choices. In America is literally a continent, but there are people who think that they don't have any no options.
Yeah.
That's your only 2 options.
The upward mobility in America is much higher than most other countries.
You can't go and do a nursing degree or a teaching degree. These things are almost guaranteed jobs. Stability. Stripping and selling drugs. Really? You know, look.
It's the easy life.
I got on
Fast
my shirt
money.
today. I grew up in Grenada, okay? But really and truly, I grew up in an island called Carriacou. 7,000 people on the island. There are really no opportunities. Like, really and truly, there's nothing to do. You're in America, and your only two options are selling drugs or making it shake? Oh my God.
This is why men in America don't respect women in America that choose this. And it's a choice. And it's definitely a choice in America. All these women that said they had no choice, that this was this was their only chance to make it or whatever it is. Liars.
You wanna get fucked, go ahead then.
Bad part about being empty club is the time you think all the life choices.
I'm so sad, still get shit done. Not finna get none till I come. Bitch is 2022 on that dumb. My drip on all this lip like rum. Yo ho scolding on me that.
That's the thing about fast money. It's when it comes in, it's nice, it's fast, but when it dries up very quickly.
It's my son. Yeah, that's my babe. Dominicano.
Bad part about an empty club is that you have time to think about the life choices that led you here. She got a picture with her and a kid in it. It's not funny. It's not funny.
Strippers say a market crash is guaranteed because the strip clubs are suddenly empty. This article is a few months old, but I had to share it because it is hilarious. These strippers on Twitter were talking about how they can predict the market trends and forecasts way better than any finance bro. Basically, people were making a lot more money during COVID when it was unemployment, stimulus checks, and now gas is higher, rent is higher, and there's layoffs, so less people are going to the strip clubs.
That video was in 2022, by the way, and she is right. There are a lot of these clubs who are posted up empty. There are articles as far back as 2019 I'm seeing here with people asking, are strip clubs dying out? And with strippers talking about how nobody makes as much money as they did 5 years ago. I don't doubt the economy has a role to play in that. Have things gotten worse? Inflation, whatever the case is, people have less available money. All those things play a part. But when you look at the younger demographic, for example, because we know the people who go to strip clubs the most are middle-aged men, right? I think it's 35 to 55.
Yeah.
But the younger demographic, right, they're done. Like whatever percentage of younger men that were going, that's no doubt in my mind, that's completely dipped, right? Because younger men are inside. I want to get you guys' thoughts and feelings in the comments below.
I mean, the younger generation replaced these places with video games. They don't need to go to these places for their dopamine hit, in a sense.
What are some of the reasons why, outside of the economy, you think middle-aged men aren't going to strip clubs anymore?
Oh, God.
Probably the attitude of women have gotten worse and worse over time, too, that go to work at these strip clubs. I mean, back in the day, when you think about Benjamin Franklin, right? How he talked about he loved older women because of how much knowledge they had of politics and things like that. So back in the day, strippers and all these other workers had a lot of knowledge of politics, of the things that are going around them, because they were always influenced by a lot of more influential men, right? But they were also learning and trying to like tailor themselves to these men, just being like partners or being a good companion to these men. Nowadays, women are just there probably just to try to take money from men and just leave them out and dry.
I can't
Just
spend
what I think it is
eternity
going
here.
on.
This place.
What up, y'all? So I've been getting a lot of messages from ladies saying, can you please share some more stripping videos? And one thing about it, I want to work on being more transparent and vocal about this. Because I notice a lot of people get on this app and only share the glamorized aspects of being a dancer. They don't really get into it. And it can be very misleading for people who's trying to get into the industry. So I'm going to tell y'all the ugly truths of being a dancer. First things first, you are not going to make $1,000 every single day. You are not going to make a bag every single day. Please get that out of your head immediately. Exit out. It really be like that to where there'll be 70 girls in the club and only 8 customers come in throughout the entire night. It really be like that sometimes to where you have to stay down till you come up. The most I've left the club with, I've left with as much as $5,000 and I've left with as little as $13. It really be
$5,000 in a single night? My jeez.
like that some nights to where you're struggling to make $100. It is what it is. Next, you are going to struggle to find, like, you're going to struggle to find your inner child. Like, it's going to be very traumatic to the point where you miss who you were once upon a time. This life is very...
You're around the demons. You're around such negativity and disgusting men. They make you view the world in a different light because you got doctors, you got lawyers coming in there, you probably got a couple of pastors, you know what I'm saying? You got all kinds of men coming in there. So now your view of the world is different. And these men are probably creepy and they're weird and you're around all sorts of deviants. Yeah. I could see how that could really mess you up.
Time consuming, especially if you work the night shift. It'd be like that. Like, you're going to work the night shift, get off, and
there's a day shift at a strip club? People going during the day?
Time you wake up, it's time to run errands, and then you look up at the clock and it's time to go back to work. And it's like a never-ending repeat cycle. It's gonna be you and your 4 hours of sleep against the world. Be prepared to be body shamed. Be prepared to get told the word no 1,000,000 times. You are not everybody's type. Also, I'm not even gonna hold y'all. You're gonna have to worry about being sexually harassed.
You would think about it, if women don't like getting rejected, they definitely probably shouldn't do these careers because the rejection's probably pretty high.
And having to go about your day. Pocket watchers.
They're everywhere.
People are constantly watching you.
True.
They're constantly being shady and they're constantly talking some shit. They're gonna even talk some shit to customers about you. Like, girls will do...
I can imagine that because it's just women. The innuendos and reputation destruction is probably off through the roof.
Whatever it takes to make sure that the bag is theirs and not yours. Girls are very evil. That it is what it is. Also, remember that you're constantly in a toxic environment.
True.
The strip club is filled with people that have mental issues, filled with drug addicts. You have all these influences from alcohol, drugs. So you have to know what the goal is in mind. Your mental state has to be on 1,000. You have to know what you came here to do, and you have to know how to keep your composure at the end of the day. In my opinion, it's very important to have multiple streams of income, multiple different forms of hustles, because if you're only putting all your eggs into being an independent contractor, God forbid something happens to you, like a car crash or something else, you gotta think about, like, how are you gonna keep the money coming in? So never make dancing your only stream of income.
I mean, for most people, if you get in some kind of car accident that's going to take you out, you're not going to be able to get income to come in. It's just hard to get income coming in when you're in the hospital. Very few careers or anything I can think of that can keep paying you.
That's another ugly truth that they don't want to talk about. It's not a career.
You know, I often talk about different people having agendas, and some people have an agenda against men, and some people have an agenda against women.
True.
I have an agenda against the bullshit, okay? I will always paint this shit in the most negative light. Whatever it is that we know is negative, but there are people out there who try to,
put a spin on it.
Here. Okay? Because she's keeping it real, and I like that she's keeping it real, because people need to know what these environments actually are. It ain't good. Every single day you go to work, and people look at you like a piece of meat. No respect for you, no care for you.
Well, I don't know. It's like certain strip clubs allow groping or whatever. I can't imagine like all the men trying to touch you all the time. I don't like being touched.
As a human being. And the ones that do, the simps, falling in love with strippers, they're weird.
I'm
And
in
the
love
only
with the
reason they care is
strippers.
because they're weird. These types of professions, there is a place for them in the world. Because
I can't even believe they made a whole song about it.
as much as you can criticize the women, men are the ones that keep these places open.
Agreed.
So there is a place for them in the world. But they should be in a dark corner, shouldn't be glorified, shouldn't be championed, shouldn't be encouraged.
Let me tell y'all something. These girls are glorifying being a dancer, but there are a lot of negatives to it. I was a dancer for 5 years at the age of like 17 all the way to like 23.
How these women, these girls, lying about their age, they go at 17, girl?
And they have this thing in the industry called pimps. We all know them. Well, I had a gorilla pimp. That's what they call them. You have Romeo pimps, which are like the ones that kind of seduce you and love on you and act like they're your boyfriend. Then you have the gorilla pimps who just like beat your butt and like, I'm trying not to cuss, and like really hurt you and force you to do things. Well, my first situation, I was with a Romeo, and he kind of like lured me into it. Didn't even know I was in a relationship like that. And then he started bringing other women in, and I was just like, oh my God, what is this? I got out of that situation, especially because his dick was like super small, and I was like, I'm not going through all this for that little bitty dick. And it stinks. Ugh, oh my God. I remember when he pulled it out.
So you didn't want to do it just because the man, like, it wasn't the unsavoriness, the degeneracy, and all these other women? It was just the small penis thing that got you?
And I was like, I didn't even want to do anything. I was like, can she go first? And then I like act like I was asleep. It was really bad. Then the second situation, oh God, y'all prepare yourselves for what I'm about to say. It was a gorilla pimp. This man basically was like, I have this mansion. You can come live in the mansion if you need a place to stay. I was homeless at the time. And he was like, basically, I have some girls that stay there. And mind you, I'm young. I'm only 17. I don't know what this is. You know, I'm really like, oh, it's a mansion. He's like, yeah, we'll take you shopping. We'll go get your hair done. We'll make sure your makeup is done at all times. Like, I'll take care of you, you know. That's what it was. So I was like, cool. I mean, it sounds like I'm about to be spoiled. And I'm going to be spoiled with other girls? Okay. Well, I get into this house and, you know, he takes me shopping. He gets my hair done. All these things. I'm like completely made over into like a bad chick at the time. This was like years ago. He goes, you're going to work tonight. But the only thing I ask of you is just don't talk to any black guys. And I was like, okay. So I get to the club, and every black guy that's like trying to holler at me, I'm like dissing. You know, some are like pulling me, like, come talk to me. And I'm like, no. Well, I guess one of the girls that were in the house went and told him that I was talking to some black guys. This man literally beat me until I blacked out, y'all. Like, beat me. Then he puts a gun to my head, and he says, I know your dad's full name, proceeds to say his full name, and says, I will hurt him too. How dare you try me? Y'all, life flashed before my eyes. I was just like, oh my God. Oh my God. It like it's really the end.
This is the other dark side of these things, right? Some of these girls do get genuinely tricked into this, and then these men, there's some bad men out there that trap these girls into this lifestyle with drugs and this. So as much as we are a little more callous to women crying and talking about some of these things, I feel this is something to take in a little bit and understand some side of the story.
And more of the story, yes, you make money, but it comes with other things. Please be careful out here.
It's not surprising that these pimps would be like really insecure and goofed up. Because I mean, what kind of profession is that?
It's a weird ass
But
one.
again, one of the great things about the internet, people like this can come on and give their experience doing a job that a lot of people are glamorizing. They're just coming on with the money and they're flexing the money and they're showing how much they made in the night. And you got all these dumb women in the comments talking about, this is my sign to be a yeah, you all know what's happening behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? You don't know that a lot of these women are getting followed home after the club.
100%.
Yeah, you don't know about the pimps. You don't know about the background. Because just deep it. In order to do something so demeaning, so low down, what must you have come from? There's a reason why you think that this is okay.
Yep.
You must have not come from a solid background. And the fact that you didn't come from a solid background, you came from a turbulent background, means that you have the mental capacity to deal with this nonsense. Because the average woman doesn't.
As much as I don't want to feel sorry for people and feel sorry for people for doing their choices, sometimes you do. You have to have some empathy for people, right? Not everybody did make the choice to be where they are. Sometimes happenstances happen. When she was 17, she got pimped out twice already, or met 2 pimps already. And it sucks when you don't have a father figure in your life. This is why this space, at least my channel, I push, take care of your kids, take care of your sons, take care of your daughters, get them off the streets. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. I really appreciate that.